When you walk in the door, instead of most events just do a rental glass, we've decided to do a commemorative keeper piece. This is from Riedel Stemware, made in Austria. I thought that would be a nice touch to add this year. And included with that, you'll get a wine guide, and inside has all the wineries, and each one of the wines are there, so that you can take notes of your own. And it's a great way to be able to remember the wines after the event when you go to your favorite wine shop to pick some up.
Yeah, show us inside, because this is a really neat thing. Because under each, you can just take down your own notes.
That's exactly right. If you look at this page here, we've got our St. Laurent property out of Washington State in Amity Vineyards out of Oregon. We've got each of the wines that they're going to be pouring, and we left some space for you to be able to put your personal notes on there. And again, what we notice in the business is people tend to love wines, and then they end up forgetting them when they leave, and they're dying to find out what they were because they want to buy them and have them in their own home.
Right.
So this is probably a little bit of a helpful guide for them and somewhere to keep their personal notes and take home. Keep in mind, when you order a bottle of wine at a restaurant, they're going to come by, and their responsibility to you is to pour you a sample as the person ordering the wine. About an ounce is plenty, and they're going to put this in your glass. Your job, as I mentioned, is you're going to look visually to make sure that it has a vibrant color, and as you can see, this one does. You're going to want to swirl the wine to help release the bouquet and the aromas, and then absolutely outstanding. And then finally the sip, and then the draw across your palate. And then that helps you really get the full version of the wine. But you want to let it sit there on your palate a little bit. It's not a shot. It's not a shot of tequila. You want to make sure that it kind of savors in your mouth a little bit. You'll see some of the snooty kind of wine geek type people kind of chew on their wine and gargle their wine. You don't necessarily have to do that. But you want to get a little bit in your mouth. You want to work it around. The most important thing in tasting wine is to make sure that the wine hits all sides of your tongue. The sides and the tip.
Okay.
The interesting thing that most people don't know is the tip of your tongue is the only spot that can recognize sweetness. The sides of your tongue is the only spot that can pick up acidity and tannins in a wine. So you want the wine to sit there a little bit, get all sides of the tongue, and then when you swallow, after you swallow, you want to just draw some air in across your palate, and that helps that wine explode and give those final versions of bouquet, aroma, and it brings the whole piece of the puzzle together. When you do food and wine pairings, I think one of the most important things is that they try to work together, and neither one of them is the star. They're the star when they're together. So the food doesn't overshadow, but the wine doesn't overshadow as well. I love that. People that experiment, I can't recommend it enough. Try different things. You won't hit a home run every time, but you'll be surprised how good you do. It's actually harder to make a food and wine pairing go wrong than it is to make it go right. Bon appetit!